Hi everyone, starting with this video, I'm gonna teach you how to speak Korean in the easiest and the fastest way by utilizing foreign words used in Korean, especially the ones from English, and also by using what I call the magic verb, Hada. So the first expression is 컴퓨터해요. And probably as soon as you heard the word computer, you guessed, right? Computer. Perfect. Now the second part, 해요. I know it sounds like Haeyo, right? But it unfortunately doesn't mean that, although I think you can use it to memorize. Haeyo, in fact, is a conjugated form of the magic verb that I just mentioned, Hada. Hada can mean a lot of things, but in this case, it means to do. So this sentence has to do with doing something on the computer. And in Korean, literally, we say we do 컴퓨터해요. You may be wondering, like, where is the subject then, right? There's none in this sentence. In Korean, more often than not, we omit the subject unless it's necessary to specify them or to clarify something. Now, we may be wondering also why the word computer comes before the verb. The reason is because in Korean and in Japanese, we place objects before verbs. So it's normally in the order of subject, object, verb, or simply object and verb, like in this case. And of course, it may feel confusing in the beginning, but don't worry, you will get used to it. Now, here comes the good news though. I just mentioned that Haeyo is already in the conjugated form, so this means that you don't have to change anything from here. You can start using it as it is. Now, the real good news is this. We don't conjugate verbs by the grammatical person in Korean. So those who have studied European languages before know what this means. In simple words, Haeyo can mean I do, it can mean you do, or we do, she does, he does, they do, etc., etc. Okay, it can mean any of this depending on the context, and it's all in one form. Super simple, right? So conjugation, done. So let's say someone asks you, what are you doing? And you want to say, I'm on the computer, or I do something on the computer. 컴퓨터해요, period. You don't even have to say the subject, because in this case, of course, you don't need to specify it, right? Because you can guess it from the context, right? If someone asks you, like, what are you doing? Who else is it gonna be? It's gonna be me. But if you really want to specify though, that it's you, like I am doing something on the computer, then just remember how to say I in French. It's like je, right? As in je m'appelle or je t'aime, right? Curiously though, it's very similar in Korean. It's 저. Okay, so you can say 저 컴퓨터해요. Subject, object, verb. And this is definitely gonna be me doing something on the computer, not somebody else. Now, if the question was, what's your brother doing? And you answered, 컴퓨터해요. Then in this case, it's gonna mean that your brother is on the computer. Like, you don't even have to say he, the personal pronoun. Automatically, we just assume that it is him. Okay? Now, let's imagine that you're doing something on the internet. Okay? How would you say that in Korean? Give it a try. Okay? Here's a tip. Remove that R sound. Korean is a non-rhotic language. We don't have that R sound. And also remember to put the object, the internet, before the verb. Okay, so it's gonna be 인터넷해요. 인터넷해요. Easy, right? While you are on the internet, you may be web surfing. Okay, just like jumping from page to page on the web. Okay, we say 웹서핑. Okay, 웹서핑해요. You get the idea here, eh? Now, once again, with the pronunciation, just get rid of the R at the end of the second syllable. And since we don't have the F sound in our language, we replace it with P, so it becomes 웹서핑. 웹서핑해요. The next expression is SNS해요. And you may be like, SNS? Like, what is that? What is SNS, right? Apparently, SNS stands for Social Network Service. So all these websites like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, these are all SNS here. Okay, so when someone asks you like SNS해요, it means like, are you on social media? It's like asking which one you use so that you can become friends on them. Alright, now you can also ask more specifically like, do you have Twitter? Okay, in this case, you can form the question with the same verb, so it becomes 트위터해요. If you just raise the intonation at the end, it becomes a question. 트위터해요. Okay, and you don't even have to say, do you? Like, we almost never use that second person subjective pronoun like you, unless it's, first of all, it has to be someone your age, exactly the same age or younger than you, and be close enough so you can be like impolite with them. Otherwise, addressing someone as you in Korean can be seen as rude, and if you do that, like, you may come off as aggressive. All right, so If you know their designations, just address them by their designations. Or if you don't, then just don't say you and complete the sentence, and they'll figure it out by context. Okay. Now going back to the expressions, how about Instagram? Instagram해요. Or you can ask Instagram해요. And Facebook. Now with Facebook though, everything is the same except that, as I said before, in Korean we don't have the F sound, so we usually replace it with P. Okay, so it becomes 페이스북해요. Or you can ask 페이스북해요. But you know, like if you forget to change the F sound, like they'll probably have no trouble understanding it. So anyways, to answer yes, you say yeah. Okay, very similar to the English one, right? Yeah, yeah. And you may also hear 네, which may sound like to you like no or nay, but it's still a yes in Korean. Okay, and yeah and 네 are totally interchangeable. So you can say yeah or 네, 페이스북해요. You can also add I, remember the French word? So you can say yeah or 네, and add 저, 페이스북해요. Yes, I have Facebook. Literally we're saying like I do Facebook though. Okay, what else do we have? Like these days I don't do any of this, so I don't do much. Like 트위치해요. Okay, 틱톡해요. What else? Like you might be blogging, 블로그해요. I've seen blogging해요 too, but I think in general it's more common to say 블로그해요. Same thing with researching. I've also seen 리서치해요, but more commonly without ing. 리서치해요. And with research, remember to get rid of the R at the end of a syllable, like you know, at the second syllable. And as to the first R at the beginning of the word, or any R placed at the beginning of a syllable, we don't have the R sound. So what we do is we replace it with the closest sound that we have, which is like something in between R and L. So it's not like 리, it's not 리, it's 리. 리서치. Okay, 리서치해요. What else can we do on a computer? You may be coding. Now with coding, it's funny because we always keep the ing. 코딩해요. I don't think I've ever heard 코딩해요. So just keep the ing there. You can be chatting with your friends. 채팅해요. Here as well, we just keep the ing. But for us, chatting is always through a computer or a device. It's not like you meet up with someone that you know in person and you chat. Like for us, chatting is always like through a messenger program or an application. Okay, 채팅해요. Lastly, we're gonna learn to say how to say I play games, you play games, you play games. Okay, we use the same verb in this case as well. So 하다 can also mean to play. And you see how versatile this verb is, right? It can be used in so many different contexts. It's super useful, and for that later I will make another video to show you some different usage of this verb. Now to say I play games, we say 게임해요. Note that the pronunciation of the first syllable changes here. It's not 게, it's 게. Okay? I don't know why. So 게임해요. Even if it's more than one game that you play, it's never 게임드해요. We just say 게임해요. Period. Okay. The beauty of this expression is that you can replace the game part with the actual name of the game. So let's say you play League of Legends. Remember to treat legends as singular. So League of Legend해요. Or they shorten it to LOL as its initials. LOL해요. Same with Battleground. And I found the original title in English. It's like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Here we just call it Battleground. And even that's too long for them, like they shorten it to 배그. And I've been asked quite a few times, like 배그해요? And I was like, what is 배그? What else is popular these days? Minecraft. So just replace the F with P. Minecraft해요. And by the way, there's an exception I can come up with, and that is Sims. We don't treat it as singular. We call it 심즈 as it is. So it's like 심즈해요. I used to play there a lot. I loved it. Anyway, I'm gonna finish it here. In the next video, we're gonna continue with some more expressions related to computers and the internet. And also, I'm gonna make a video showing different usage of our magic verb, Hada. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope it was easy and useful for you. But if you have any questions, you can write them in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless. Take care.